Welcome to The Terrible Take, a mini podcast telling Steelers Nation what's on our mind. I'm Dave Bryan.
There's already been quite a bit of talk about Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger so far this offseason, and especially whether or not the veteran can find a way to start delivering on deep passes on a more consistent level in 2021. Perhaps you're one of many who believe this area of Roethlisberger's game isn't a big concern, and thus just analysts nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking. But it is a legitimate concern, all things being equal. After all, Roethlisberger connected on just roughly 30% of his 2020 deep pass attempts that traveled 20 yards or longer, and that's just not going to cut it. With that stated, today, let's focus on somebody else on the team other than Roethlisberger that could perhaps play a big part in turning around the Steelers' deep passing game in 2021. That somebody else we need to talk about is second-year wide receiver Chase Claypool. Claypool, in case you didn't know it already, led the Steelers in 2020 in deep pass targets of 20 yards or longer with 31. Those 31 also tied him for the third most in the NFL in that stat, as only Calvin Ridley and Tyreek Hill had more than Claypool did. Claypool, however, only caught 9 of those 31 deep pass targets, and fortunately, 4 of those resulted in touchdowns. Now, 14 of those 31 deep pass attempts were considered contested catch opportunities for Claypool, and the Notre Dame product only managed to come down with 4 of them. He knows that deep pass contested catch percentage isn't near good enough, and he said as much during his Thursday media session. Remember, Claypool did much better in college when it came to deep contested catch opportunities, so it's not like he's being asked to do something new at the NFL level. Claypool also had 2 drops on deep pass attempts 20 yards or longer in 2020, and while that percentage obviously could be worse, his position coach Ike Hilliard will probably say that any drop is one too many. I agree. What's not shown in those stats are the deep pass interference penalties that Claypool drew in 2020, and as we wrote about last season, there were quite a few of them. Those no plays don't show up in any stats, but they are most certainly hidden yardage that needs to be accounted for and credited. Due to Claypool's size and ability, it's easy to speculate that he'll likely draw another 6 or so deep pass interference calls in 2021 as well. On top of those, however, we need to see Claypool raise his deep pass target catch percentage as well. If he does, that will obviously go a long way in helping Roethlisberger's deep passing stats look a lot more respectable in 2021, something that absolutely must happen if the Steelers hope to make any sort of a playoff run.
Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com and check out episodes of The Terrible Take every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out The Terrible Podcast with myself and Alex Kozora every Tuesday and Friday.